UFC Fight Night, Vinicius Oliveria versus Mario Bautista goes down tomorrow. I'm going to go through the entire card, giving you my picks and predictions on what I think is going to happen. Let's jump in. And now to kick off the card, we have Claudia Segula versus Priscilla Cachoeira. This fight it's interesting from an actual fight's perspective. Segula's got good power, no grappling. She's durable, aggressive on the feet. But Cachoeira in this fight, this is a big step down in competition for her. So, and she's the underdog in this. Odds are 155 and plus 130. Claudia Segula is the favorite in this fight. But with Cachoeira, she has good power, and with Segula liking it to be on the feet most of the time with this fight, I can just see Segula kind of getting chinned. Yeah, I'm leaning towards Cachoeira in this fight. She's a vet in this. She's much more butch, you could say, and I'd say the worst base of MMA would be being an attractive woman. So I'm gonna side with Priscilla Cachoeira in this fight. Not gonna put money anywhere near this fight. Put it that way. Moving on, we have Muin Gafurov versus Jakub Wiklax. Oh, I didn't look at the height. This is good. Wiklax coming off his debut win over Patchy Mix rewatching that fight, do I think he won? No. But Muin Gafurov, the first time I ever saw him fight, I want to say, who was it? No, that wasn't the first. First time, or the fight I'm really remembering is the Renya Nakamura fight. Renya being a very good grappler, very high pressure grappler, and Gafurov was really able to kind of shuck off all of his takedowns and really schooled him on the feet. Do I think he's going to school Wiklax on the feet? No, but I think he definitely has the upper hand in the striking in this fight, where I also still think Wiklax has the upper hand in the grappling. Wiklax, his striking defense hasn't amazed me. I don't love it. But off his back, when he's on the ground, specifically, he advances position very well, and when he is on his back, he works out of that butterfly guard very well, and he can use that to his advantage. But Muin Gafurov, when he gets to the ground, his number one priority, it seems to be get the back, straight to a back take. Yeah, I'm going to take Gafurov in this. The only thing that kind of scares me is when he kind of gasses, he starts to throw big loopy shots. And if he starts taking loopy punches like that, I could see Wiklax getting in on a good takedown and possibly doing something on the ground. But I think we'll see Gafurov by decision here. I do like Wiklax, though. I think he has potential. I think Gafurov's pretty good, though. Moving on, we have Wang Kong versus Eduardo Mora. The odds on this kind of surprise me. What are they? They're minus 350 to plus 285, I want to say, as of recording time. When I think it's not quite a pick'em, I'd still lean Wang Kong in odds, but this whole card, odds-wise, trying to bet on this card, trying to find a value pick is pretty tough. Eduardo Mora, nothing really on the feet. Her last fight was with 50-year-old Lauren Murphy, a fight where they were trying to build her up, get her a finish in that fight, make it look like, hey, we have a real Brazilian women's contender here, but it was never there. And in that third round, she kind of gassed out and was getting walked down by Lauren Murphy, and that's bad luck. And look at Wang Kong. She's 8-1. One loss, if you look at it just off face value, yes, it came by sub, but she got head kicked and then subbed on the ground right after. And she was like minus like 800 in that fight. So it was just kind of like slip on a banana peel kind of. I think if they ran that fight back, she wins 10 out of 10 times. But Eduardo Mora, her ground game is really good. It is really good. And Wing Kong's ground game is not really, really good. She has good takedown defense, able to kind of use the fence to her advantage in that. But Eduardo Mora definitely has the upper hand in the ground game, where on the feet, Wing Kong has every advantage possible. Power, speed, shot selection. The only thing that kind of scares me with this is she really uses that sidekick, that front sidekick to like create space. And with that, it kind of makes me nervous on the takedown coming in from there. So I think she'll be able to kind of stay clean on this fight. Eduardo Mora, I think she could get a takedown in that first round, kind of be like, oh, whoa, we see live odds shift quite a bit. But I think as this fight goes on, we could see like that second to third round, late second to third round KO out of Wang Kong. So I'm gonna lean towards Wang Kong. I just hate the odds on this fight. I hate the odds on 90% of the fights on this card. But moving on, we have Javid Basharat versus Gianni Vasquez. This sucks. This was supposed to be Said Nurmagomedov, and this fight would have been sick. But now we have a guy making his UFC debut for some reason as a $7 billion company that we are now. It shows Gianni Vasquez as 1-2 when I want to say he's like 16-4. Yeah, this is tough to break down. Gianni, this is his debut in the UFC, and he's stepping up on this fight like a week's notice. So that's tough. Watched a couple of his fights on the regional scene. Pretty well-rounded. Looks good. Has a couple submission wins, knockout wins. His last fight, I want to say he won by KO. But Javid Basharat, when I look back at his record, it's like, I think he won his first like 8 fights by first or second round finish. And then since then, we've kind of saw this like taper off of that. And in his last fight, Ricky Simone really gave it to him. But I'm not going to overthink this one at all. I'm taking the UFC vet. He's 4 or 5 fights in. I just think this is too short of notice for the biggest fight of your life for Gianni. As terrible as that sounds. Moving on, we have Bruno Brazil versus Ketlin Souza. This is an interesting fight, especially now that we're in the Apex with a little smaller cage. Because Bruno Brazil is definitely Bruna, not Bruno. Forgive me. She's definitely the cleaner fighter here. The stand up, keep your range, don't go to the ground, don't like path of least resistance on the feet, essentially. She throws really good kicks, works the body really well. But when they do get in that tie clinch, she does thrive in the tie clinch. She does have good sweeps, good stuff like that, good knees. Where Ketlin Souza, on the other hand, she kind of disappointed me in her last couple fights, I want to say. But she has good power, good striking. Her grappling's good. Her transition on the ground's pretty good. And she also attacks submissions to kind of just attack submissions, just being aggressive on the ground. That's where I was trying to go with that. Again, being an attractive or a more attractive women's MMA fighter, it's usually the worst base where we can see Ketlin Souza here, little manlet, 5'3", but I think the smaller cage will definitely help her in this fight, give her a little more, just give her the ability to kind of track her down and keep her there. So I'm going to lean with Ketlin Souza probably by decision here. I think that's decision in a women's fight is kind of like a KO and a Derek Lewis fight. Moving on, another short notice fight. This is like two-sided short notice because Vretnikov, he stepped up on short notice to fight Souza, the guy coming off of the Contender Series, I want to say. He was supposed to fight him. Then Souza fell out. So then Vretnikov was, I'll stay on the card. So then they had to get, but the original fight was Souza versus Tom Nolan. And then Tom Nolan fell out. Vretnikov stepped up. And then Souza fell out. So then Vretnikov stayed. And now we have Nico Price. Again, on like a week's notice. So we have a crafty vet versus, and I don't know, Vretnikov's never impressed me, but the state of Nico Price, it's just kind of, it's depressing me from the upkick KOs that I was used to seeing when I was growing up. Man, Nico Price is crafty, but I think it's coming to the end of the road. I mean, the Robbie Lawler version that he got chinned by is just like, okay, dude, really? The only problem here, Vretnikov, he, in those kind of high pressure fights, he will kind of make it a war, like take a punch to give one, which against Nico Price at this point, I'm not super concerned about. He does have power. Just sucks that they're doing this to Nico Price, especially like a vet like him. He's had probably 10 plus fights in the UFC over a 6-year span, and when he's looking for his way out of the UFC, we're giving him 5 days notice. Kind of stinky. So I'll take Vretnikov. Not by any specific manner. Vretnikov, he's never impressed me. Moving on. We have Alex Morono versus Daniil Danchenko. Danchenko just coming off his win on the Ultimate Fighter, winning that season. Odds in this are nuts. I think, let me look. Minus 700 for Daniil Danchenko versus Alex Morono. Do I think Daniil Danchenko is going to win this? Yes. I think he should steamroll him. I think Alex Morono, as of late, has looked really bad. I don't think he's looked good. But we have to look at the fighter as a whole. When it comes down to this, we could see a prime. We could see a, who knows, Danchenko's not as good as we thought he was, and maybe Alex Morono's still there, you know? But I mean, no. As dumb as that is. Danchenko, he has really good striking, power. His elbow setups are great, good combos. His grappling, that's where I get nervous in this fight, is his grappling, because Morono, he will gladly jump guard, gladly be on his back, work off his back, and he has, I want to say he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, but he just doesn't use it seems like. So yeah, keep that short. Like, there's nothing to break down here. Danchenko by KO. Moving on to the main card. The Hanyak, Dustin Jacoby versus Julius Walker. Interesting fight. I like this. We have an up-and-comer in Julius Walker versus a primed vet. He's 37, never looked younger. Great golfer, by the way. I'm going to take Dustin Jacoby by KO in this fight. I think Julius Walker's stand-up, his striking defense in particular, is really bad. It's not good. He stands with a high guard, but when he's throwing, his hands come down right away. Not my favorite. Where with Dustin Jacoby, we've saw what he's done. Like Vitor Petrino, who's up at heavyweight now, who's kind of going crazy right now. He was losing the whole fight. Third round comes, sleeps him with an overhand right, or just a straight right down the pipe. And he's a vet at this point in the UFC. He fought, I want to say, Glory Kickboxing for a long time. I want to say he fought Alex Pereira. Don't quote me. I'd love to fact check that, but Dustin Jacoby coming in at a minus 175. I feel like these odds, this is where the odds should be on 90% of these fights, not minus 300, minus 400. I think that gets a bit ridiculous. Dustin Jacoby, He has good takedown defense. Julius Walker, that's definitely where he will be able to win this fight, is in that through the ground game, using that cage push. But I just think his stand-up is not there yet. I think it might have been a split decision loss to Alonzo Menifield. I think Alonzo Menifield won that. Big athlete though, so there's always going to be that factor. He's going to be strong. He's going to have explosivity. But I think Dustin Jacoby's just a little too sharp, his shot choice is very good. So I'll take Dustin Jacoby by probably a KO. Julius Walker, if he does get this fight to the ground though, in those scrambles back to the feet for Dustin Jacoby, I could see Julius Walker finding a submission in there, but I'm not going to count on it. I'm pretty secure with Dustin Jacoby by KO. Moving on, we have Gene Matsumoto versus Farid Basharat, Javid's brother. I like this. This is two up-and-coming guys at bantamweight. This is cool, 28 and 26. Now, my gripes with Matsumoto, I thought that close fight with Rob Font, I thought that was really good. And then he fought, I want to say, Miles Johns, and that was really close. Miles Johns is not a great fight. Like, he's good. He's a UFC fighter. Can't take that from him. But when we're getting to this upper echelon, especially at bantamweight, where bantamweight's a super, super deep division, Farid Basharat, also 14-0, has looked good pretty much the whole way. He's durable. I'm pretty sure in every fight he's gotten takedowns. He's been able to get him down to the ground. But I think his cardio in this fight, I think that's going to be a big piece. I think Gene Matsumoto holds quite a bit of muscle down at this weight class where he could gas out. I'm not going to say he counts on it, but he does. When he is taken down, he's okay to be on his back. Like he's okay to work off his back, but that's no good. You don't want to be on your back for too long. He has a good choke arsenal though. Gene Matsumoto does. He has a really good blast double. That's one thing I can say. His blast double leg is good. He throws good combinations on the feet. But I think Farid Basharat, it's kind of like the Bonfim brothers. It's like there's one that you know is going to be pretty good, and then the other's like, well, we don't really know all the way. So yeah, I think the odds on this are kind of crazy too. Minus 320 for Farid and plus 255 for Gene Matsumoto. It's not worth betting on because it's gonna be a close fight. I know it's gonna be a close fight. Minus 320 is crazy. I don't understand why this is happening. But anyways, moving on, we have Mikhail Oleksiejczuk versus Marc-Andre Barriault. This version of Mikhail has been really fun to watch, I have to say. Since he's started training with the Fighting Nerds, it's like his power got like +5. It's crazy. He has also not been fighting the greatest opponents. He did just knock out GM3. Where Marc-Andre Barriault, he's kind of jack of all trades, you know? Just people love that term, like, yeah, I'm jack of all trades. I can do it all. But that just means you're not really great at one thing. It means you're kind of just mid everywhere. So, I mean, and in his last fight, that's probably the best he's looked, like the most impressive we've saw from him in a loss, like losing to Shar Magomedov. But he spun Shar's nose to the other side of his face. Didn't think that would happen, I have to say. But it was awesome. Have to respect that. But I think Shar Magomedov's probably the top 3 most overrated fighters in the UFC right now. So I think we are going to see a nice old-fashioned Mikhail Oleksiejczuk 1-2 down the pipe and then into ground and pound, winning by KO. Easy shmoney. Moving on, we have, back to the heavyweight division, we have Jailton Almeida versus Rizvan Kuniev. Kuniev at the weigh-ins. Let's be real. Looks like he's back on that sauce he was taking when he was on the regional scene. Or not regionals, but not the UFC. Where Jailton Almeida always looks like a freak. He is a monster. This fight's interesting because how close Rizvan was able to keep it with Curtis Blades. And MMA math, Jailton Almeida got TKO'd by by Blades. And Almeida in his last fight, it was an Almeida fight. You know what was going to happen. You know what he's coming to do. He's going to grapple the hell out of you. But the refs just pick and choose when they want grappling to have the importance of a win. Sometimes it's if you get a takedown and you're not doing damage, they don't care about it. Where sometimes with the let's say from the very eastern region, the northeastern region, if you get a takedown, just sit there. They're cool. Just hang out, chill out on the ground. But getting down to the actual fight, Rizvan Kuniev, good. He's pretty much well-rounded all around. He's good striker, has power in his hands, and now that he's back in shape, it kind of takes me back and like, whoa, Jailton, you got a real fight here, brother. But he's never fought a grappler as good or as physical as Jailton Almeida, I don't think. So I think this will be. The odds are actually close on this. This is where the odds should be in these type of fights. Rizvan's plus 140 and Almeida's minus 165. I really like that. And I also really like the fact that Almeida doesn't have to density max and weigh in at 260 pounds every time. I like that he stays where he's athletic. I like that he's kind of found the weight in that heavyweight division that he feels his best at. He feels the most athletic in. So I think Almeida is going to make a title run. Do I think he's going to beat Tom if Tom comes back? No. But I will stay with Jailton Almeida in this fight. I think he gets this one done. Boring decision. Not going to be fun to watch. Moving on, we have Emir Albazi versus Kyogi Horiguchi. The Gooch man. He is back and looks great. Beat the shit out of Tagir Ulanbekov. And then subbed him. Put him to sleep. Putting to sleep someone from Habib's camp. Crazy. But Emir Albazi, he is really good. I think he lost his last fight to Moreno, and he lost a grappling matchup. It might be crazy, but I could be Jafel Fieldhill. Might have beat him in a grappling match. But in this fight, I think Horiguchi is gonna. I think we're gonna see prime Horiguchi at 35 years old. I think he's got it. I think his striking's been really good. His range control, just being able to kind of pick his shots in and out really well when he wants to come in and out. His grappling, we saw, is really good. His takedown defense has been good. And I really like his submission arsenal. And he's very opportunistic when with the submissions, especially on the ground. With Emir Albazi, though, he has power, good striker, also really good submission arsenal. His timing's really good on his takedowns. This is going to be a close fight, and that's why I don't understand the odds. The odds just piss me off. Horiguchi's minus 370. He's had one fight back in the UFC. Why is he minus 370? My Telegram's been smacking way too hard. They're trying to make it hard for me to win, but we will find a way. Albazi at plus 290. I think that's a great value pick. Am I taking it? No. But he definitely has the capability to win this fight. He is a very high level flyweight in this division. Do I think he beat Kaiser or no? Kara France? No. But who cares at this point? I'm going to take Horiguchi in this fight. I think his range control on the feet is just going to be a little too much for Albazi to kind of be able to get inside on. So, yeah. Keep it with that. Again, I wouldn't probably put money on it because minus 370 unless you're taking stuff from the Telegram. Moving on to the main event, we have Mario Bautista versus Vinicius Oliveira. Interesting fight. I really like it. I really like the matchmaking. Mario Bautista in his last fight, it was a loss, but he surprised everyone in how well he did against Umar. Looked great. Dropped him with that like shin to the face, knee to the face. Where with Vinicius Oliveira, it's very hands down. The impact is just like boom, boom. People are so like thrown off at the impact of his punches. In his, he fought Said, and Said was in that fight and then gassed out, and he was able to get the decision. But even in that Sopaj fight, I give the first round to Sopaj, second round's close, and then obviously what happened. I'm no hater of Vinicius Oliveira. I really like him. I think he's really cool. But I don't, against a guy like Mario Bautista, who is extremely well-rounded and really great. He's really great everywhere. I don't like the hands down walking forward, that forward pressure. I'm not huge on that. I think Mario Bautista is like extremely fundamentally sound on the feet. His striking's it's very basic. He has a very basic fight style, but it is very good. He uses the cage push extremely well. Am I saying extremely well against Aldo? No. Fuck you for doing that to Aldo. That was bullshit. But do it to Vinicius Oliveira. I don't care. His last fight was against Kyler Phillips. Yes. Kyler kind of just looked like he was kind of soy in there, that fight. It was, if a punch landed on the guard, he's like, whoa, holy smokes. Like, he had never felt that before. Where I think Bautista, he's had that time in there to really be able to feel those type of things. I was going back, forgot that him and Corey Sandhagen fought way back. That was a fun little scrap to watch. I mean, obviously Mario lost, but shoot, if he wins this fight and Corey doesn't get the O'Malley fight, run it back. I think that would be a cool fight. I think Mario gets this one done. I think he gets it done by decision. I think Oliveira on the feet is not sound enough to be able to break him with that hands down heavy right in your face pressure. Just kind of those thud punches that they don't ever really land clean, but they just look like, holy smokes. Like, I kind of can compare him to Michael Morales at 170. Big for the division. Kind of crazy shot selection that they use. They don't, not the most ethical strikes they're throwing, but when they land, it lands hard. But I think Mario Bautista's past that point in his martial arts career where a thud puncher will be able to beat him. Not saying that Michael Morales is a thud puncher that hasn't done anything. But Mario Bautista, I think he's leveled up. He's at a new spot. I'm very excited to see where he goes from here. I'm not a fan of Mario Bautista by any means. I would not call myself a fan. But he's a good fighter. You have to accept that. He beat Aldo fair and square. He beat him fair and square. So yeah, I'm going to lean Mario Bautista in this fight. Pretty, for an Apex card, it's not terrible. I mean, we have decent heavyweight fight. We have a contender fight for flyweight. And then this winner of this maybe gets like a win one more than you get your title eliminator, I guess. I'd say flipping roles for Mario and Vinicius. I think Vinicius probably needs if he wins this, he probably needs 2 more wins, where if Mario wins this, he needs 1 more win and he'll be in that contender spot. But yeah, this is going to be fun. This is going to be a fun card to watch. I'm excited. Picks wise, this one's tough. This was a tough card to call, especially with the odds. It makes some people seem like bigger favorites than they really are. But, you know, that's how it goes. So, at the end of the day ends. Appreciate y'all for watching. These are my thoughts on Vegas 113 Mario Bautista versus Vinicius Oliveira. Like, subscribe, comment your thoughts, whatever. Join the freaking Telegram. We're up 1,400 in 2 weeks. You're losing money by not being in the Telegram. Catch y'all on Sunday for the review video. Peace and love.